If you are a software or a cloud engineer and AWS Cloud Practitioner is your next goal, I'm here to save you from a huge mistake. Not because the exam is bad, but because it teaches exactly the wrong thing for real engineering work. In this video, I will review what are the responsibilities of cloud engineers or software engineers that work with AWS. After that, we will see how those responsibilities correlate with AWS Certified Practitioner and other exams. Hi, my name is Alex, I am a software architect and I passed 12 AWS certifications and I want to share my thoughts about AWS exams with you. First, let's answer the question, what is AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner certification? On your screen you can see the official AWS exam guide. Certified Cloud Practitioner is a foundational level certification in AWS. The candidates are expected to explain the value of AWS Cloud, to understand shared responsibility model, well-architected framework, security best practices, and cloud economics. They are also expected to describe the position of core AWS services, including compute, network, database, storage services, and identify AWS services for common use cases. So the key requirements of this exam is to be able to understand, explain, and recognize. And further in the exam guide, we can see that the target candidate might work with people in AWS Cloud roles. This implies that the expected exam candidate is not expected to code or configure the cloud infrastructure. Further in the exam guide, we can see the section job tasks that are out of scope of the target candidate. And we can see that the candidate is not expected to be able to code, design cloud architecture, troubleshoot, implement anything, as well as to do load and performance testing. So the cloud practitioner is a good exam, but only for non-technical roles, such as for managers, marketing specialists, or entry-level technical non-developer positions. To deeper understand if this certification is good or bad for software and cloud engineers, let's see what is a cloud engineer. Cloud engineer builds software that runs on cloud platforms and configures those cloud platforms in terms of security, high availability, and other requirements. There's no clear definition of what cloud engineer is. The exact meaning may differ from company to company, but it is clear that some cloud engineering positions are more focused on software development, while others concentrate on configuring of cloud infrastructure. I did small research. I searched for cloud engineer and software engineer positions on LinkedIn, copied 200 of them, and used ChatGPT in order to extract most frequent requirements in the job descriptions. So I have uploaded the job requirements in a text file and have entered prompt. I have found these cloud engineer job postings on LinkedIn, summarize the job requirements, and provide a list of most frequent responsibilities and their descriptions. And here we have a summary of all our 200 job postings. And most common job requirements are cloud expertise, hands-on experience in designing, deploying, operating of production cloud environments, infrastructure as code, container orchestration, automation, CI/CD, observability and monitoring, security and networking. You already see that these job requirements are a lot deeper than Certified Cloud Practitioner. For example, Cloud Practitioner states understanding security best practices, and it is considered to be enough for passing the exam. Let's see what we have regarding security here. For example, security and networking, IAM, VPC, routing, firewalls, microservice, security best practices. And also responsibilities regarding that, support security and compliance. What candidates are expected to do is to enforce IAM, network hardening, ops principles, and privacy compliance. Cloud engineers are supposed to actually implement certain security best practices and they're supposed to code, to configure things, not only understand on the high level. So that is a huge difference from what is required by Cloud Practitioner. Now let's see how real exam questions may be different for different exams. Let's compare AWS Cloud Practitioner, Developer Associate, DevOps Professional. Our questions will cover a very popular topic on the exams, application integration. And application integration can be met in many different exams, but the focus and the depth of understanding of those services and the ability to architect them may be different. So we have 3 questions here, and they all are related to SNS, SQS, and EventBridge. And we will see how the different exams approach them. The first question is about AWS Cloud Practitioner. Let's take a look. A company wants to send notifications to customers when their order status changes. The system should deliver messages to multiple subscribers, such as email, SMS, and mobile app. Which AWS service is the best choice for this requirement? And this is quite typical for AWS Cloud Practitioner. Cloud Practitioner doesn't test the implementation, how you implement the application. Instead, it tests your understanding how you map specific use cases to specific AWS services. In this case, the correct answer is Amazon SNS. So you need to recognize how this use case best fits to SNS or SQS or EventBridge. Right. So the next is AWS Developer Associate. Let's see, it has a bigger question. The question is this. A developer is building a service that processes order updates. An upstream system publishes events to an Amazon SNS topic. These events must be processed by a Lambda function. During high traffic, the Lambda function is failing intermittently, and some messages are lost. How should the developer modify the architecture to ensure no messages are lost and all events are processed at least once? The Developer Associate exam expects knowledge of messaging patterns, dead letter queues, Lambda triggers, and writing code with AWS SDKs. In this case, the question tests how developer can ensure that messages are durable when Lambda fails. So when Lambda function fails, we need a way to keep those messages somewhere so that we can reprocess them later. This is something that is not expected from Cloud Practitioner. Okay, next up is DevOps Professional. Reading the question first. A company operates a multi-account environment managing through AWS organizations. Order events generated in workload accounts must be centrally collected, validated, and routed to different processing systems. Requirements. Events must be filtered based on event type. Failed events must be routed to a dead letter queue for later inspection. Operations must have visibility into delivery failures and processing latency. No loss of events is acceptable. Which solution meets these requirements most efficiently? The correct answer here is C. Use Amazon EventBridge with cross-account event buses, apply events patterns for routing, and configure an SQS tail queue for undeliverable events and utilize CloudWatch metrics. So DevOps Professional exam focuses on scale, event routing, cross-account communication, dead letter queue, and automation. And this question combines all those requirements together. It includes understanding of trade-offs between different technologies and the ability to implement it reliably. AWS Cloud Practitioner isn't bad. It just teaches wrong things. It's not made for developers, it's made for non-technical people, and it teaches high-level cloud concepts, basic terminology, basic use cases, business level understanding. But it completely skips the skills that real cloud engineers use every day. Building distributed systems, writing infrastructure as code, deploying infrastructure, solving scalability problems, and debugging complex failures. If you are a developer, a DevOps engineer, solution architect, cloud engineer, or anyone planning to build real systems on AWS, Cloud Practitioner gives you confidence without capability. Instead, I recommend taking more practical certifications like AWS Developer Associate DevOps Professional or other professional or specialty level certifications. They really focus on hands-on skills, and as you prepare for those certifications, you will learn a lot more. That's it. Thank you that you have watched till the end. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. See you next time. Bye.